Hello, everyone. This is Allison Reinking, Early Childhood Specialist from Central Jersey Family Health Consortium. And I'm here speaking with Carol Ann Giardelli. She's the Director of Safe Kids New Jersey. Welcome, Carol Ann.
Welcome. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Carol Ann, can you start by telling everyone a little bit about the Safe Kids program?
Sure. Safe Kids New Jersey is part of Safe Kids Worldwide, which is a global nonprofit dedicated solely to preventing injuries to children, injuries that are predictable and are preventable. What we address in New Jersey and throughout the country are the top leading killers of children, and that is incidences from motor vehicles, from drowning, from fires and burns, choking and poisoning, and falls. So we work directly with the community through our local coalitions. And Safe Kids is led by the Central Jersey Family Health Consortium in New Jersey.
Thanks, Carol Ann. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on during the pandemic. I know right now we have children home all day long with their families. Parents may have to work while caring for their kids. They might have several children home of various ages, and parents could really be distracted right now. They might be experiencing worry more than normal, which is also distracting. So can you share just a few strategies for keeping children safe at home throughout the day?
Sure, you're really right, Allison. Homes lately have become our offices, they've become our schools and our playgrounds, and it's pretty challenging to stay focused on everything and everyone in the home. So what I'd like to do is share some key strategies that will help prevent injuries in the homes. Some simple ones, nothing to cover every waterfront because we'll be here all day, but in the home, number one, create some safe play and work environments for children of all ages, because you may have an older child and a younger child. So make sure the environment that they're playing in or working in is safe. And how you could do, in some examples, right now we have a lot of hand sanitizers and cleaning products and things like this in our kitchen and throughout our home to make sure that we're keeping a safe environment within our home. Make sure that those products are kept high and out of sight of children, as we would with medications as well, as we always would. Many times we may have medications in purses. Make sure your purses are out of sight and out of reach of young children, because it's just another temptation for them to play with medications and possibly ingest them. Kids are exploring all different parts of the homes that they normally wouldn't be. So if you're not available to watch them, if they're playing in a bedroom upstairs, or if you don't know they're in a bedroom upstairs, make sure all TVs are mounted to the wall, or if you have one of those heavy old-fashioned TVs that you put into an upstairs bedroom because it was extra and it still worked well, make sure that it is on a low piece of furniture and also anchored to the wall or the furniture. The other thing is true with windows. Make sure there's window guards, because screens are not strong enough to protect a child from falling from a window. So those are some key pieces of information. When you have your play areas and your work areas, if you have children of different ages, a young child, a toddler, versus a child that may be 7, don't let the young child be in the room or in the area where the Legos are, because that's a very inviting thing for a young child to put in its mouth and hopefully not choke. So those are just some key issues directly in the home that we can pay attention to.
Thanks. Those are great tips. I have an 8-year-old at home and a 4-year-old at home. Fortunately, my 4-year-old is past putting things in his mouth, but right now my upstairs is covered with small Lego pieces, and I'm lucky I don't have a little baby around, because it's a constant battle to keep them clean and off the floor.
Right. And again, now with all the distraction, there's times that you just can't keep your eye 100% of the time on your toddler or your older child. So you want to make sure that you get away as much temptation as you can.
Those are great tips. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I'm noticing in my development as the weather is getting nicer and nicer, more children are out playing outside. They're riding their bikes or scooters, maybe they're skateboarding. What tips do you have to keep kids injury free when they're staying active?
Well, again, just like the house, they're discovering new areas to play in. And even though this is what we may not consider to be playing, but is a big temptation to kids now. A lot of kids, if you notice, which is beautiful to take a walk around the neighborhood and see children drawing pictures with chalk on the driveway. The other thing that's in the driveway is the car. And we have to make sure that we keep the key fobs out of reach for children, because it's very tempting now that they have access to different areas for the kids to get inside the car and play and possibly get locked. So make sure that you keep your keys away from the children. They don't know where they are. They can't have access to your car if it is locked at all times, particularly the trunk or the inside part of the vehicle. So even though it's not a toy, it's a temptation for kids that may not be used to doing that. But more streamlined as far as playing goes. A lot of bike riding is going on. You know, we talk about staying sheltered in the home, but we do need to get out every once in a while for some exercise, and hopefully it is with the family. So if you're going to take a bike ride, make sure everyone, including the parents, are wearing a helmet at all times. Let the parent be the role model that everybody in that family is wearing a properly fitted helmet and following the rules of the road. For younger children, we still expect them to be riding and playing with their scooters and bikes on the sidewalks. But if you have an older child and there are no sidewalks and you decide to ride on the street with your family, make sure you follow the rules of the road. And the bike goes with the traffic. And if you're walking, you are facing traffic.
All right, thank you. So we have one more question. We had a mom write in and she asked whether it was okay to leave her child in the car while she ran into a local convenience store. Her hope or her thinking was she wanted to prevent any unnecessary exposure to COVID. What advice do you give to this mom?
You know, the thinking, I can see the rationale behind that. And unfortunately, it's a tough situation, but absolutely not worth the risk of leaving a child in the vehicle by themselves, even if you run into the store. The other day, my sister ran into the store thinking she'd be right out, and she was out an hour and 10 minutes later because there was so much congestion and confusion in the supermarket. So what you think may be a minute or two could lead into a lot longer. And whether it's the heat of the vehicle, you know, the cars heat up very, very quickly. It could jump 20 degrees in 10 minutes if it is a very hot day. So we need to make sure that the children do not stay in the car. There's other alternatives. And I know it's not as easy as it sounds, but right now, because there's sometimes a long waiting list, but order your groceries online, call ahead and see if they have curbside pickup, or take a walk to your local store if you can without taking the vehicle. So there are things that you can do that can alleviate you being tempted to leave your child in the vehicle. That is, please, a number one no.
All right. Are there any other car safety tips that you could offer?
Well, as far as the car, I mean, adults now, again, just like in the home, we're very distracted. We have a lot of things on our mind. So as the adult and as we're driving, make sure we realize that we're distracted and just pay a little bit more attention than we normally would maybe as we're driving our vehicle. And of course, everyone buckle up.
Thanks so much, Carol Ann. These have been great tips. You know, some of us might know them, but it's really nice to have this reminder.
Yeah, you know, we hear it a lot, and just now more than ever, we may need to be reminded. You're exactly right, Allison.
I really appreciate your time. And if you, the listeners out there, have any questions for Carol Ann, how can they find you?
Well, your best bet is to go online to the Safe Kids website, which is safekids.org. And under New Jersey, you'll find all of my contact information where it says find the local coalition. And I am the director for Safe Kids New Jersey. And again, it's Carol Ann Giardelli.
Thank you so much, everyone. Be safe, and we'll see you next time. Are you a parent or caregiver living in Mercer, Hunterdon, Middlesex, or Somerset County, looking for simple, fun ways to help build your child's confidence, support their communication skills, encourage them to learn, explore, move, and groove? We have an opportunity for you to complete a free 15-minute online screening tool called the Ages and Stages Questionnaire. This effective tool will uncover your child's strengths and areas in which they may need support. Once you submit your responses, an early child specialist will call you to go over the result and offer you activities and suggestions specifically geared towards the needs of your child. To find the questionnaire for your county, click on the card below. You will be directed to Central Jersey Family Health Consortium's website, where you can access the Ages and Stages questionnaire in English or Spanish.